Do you hear me? Oh, great. Hello, Pedro. Hello, Patricia. How are you? Hi, my name is Lourdes. I'm Miss Lourdes Usuriaga, and I am the teacher for this business English course. This is the advanced level class. How are you? Okay, great. So, are you aware that this is our advanced class? Hello. Yes, this is the advanced level. Until last class, that was the July the 9th, where I was teaching the basic level. But a few days ago, Camex called me and asked me to, I don't know, to offer this class for advanced level because I understood they were like coordinating with the students and asked me to make this class a little bit uh, more difficult so we can cover the advanced level. So in this case, I'm not going to speak in Spanish because I have to focus in the advanced students. Okay, Entonces, por única vez voy a hablar en español para quedar claro. Lo que les estaba comentando hace un momento era de que hasta la clase del 9 de julio, que estábamos llevando los temas del sílabo, estábamos haciendo la clase para nivel básico. Pero luego Camex se comunicó conmigo y me pidió que desde esta fecha dicte los temas en nivel avanzado. Entonces, quería dejar claro esto por si de repente vamos a tener alumnos de clases anteriores, avisarles de que voy a estar dictando estas clases a nivel avanzado y eso significa de que no voy a hablar en español toda la sesión, voy a hablar solamente en inglés. Y si ustedes tienen alguna consulta sobre la clase, me la tienen que hacer en inglés y yo les voy a contestar en inglés. Y obviamente por el chat, ustedes lo escriben y yo les voy a responder con voz. ¿Quedó claro? Okay, great. So now that we have it clear, we have a clear vision of this class, let's start. So I see new people. I believe I didn't have you the last classes. For example, Jose, Otto, Patricia, Pedro, and Rafael, and Yesenia. I believe you are new in my class. Well, so I have to introduce myself. I am Miss Lourdes, and we're going to have our sixth class. And the topic for this class is effective written communication. So tell me, do you communicate? Do you communicate in email or social networks like Netflix, like Facebook or Instagram? So do you use the English in a written form? Do you write in English? So for example, I post on Facebook and LinkedIn. And you? So Patricia writes letters and essays. So Uh, Patricia, are you a student? Freddy, do you post in English or just Spanish? Okay, Patricia. So you you use English for academic purposes, but have you um, do you have any business or work situations when you use uh, English? Okay, so as you may see, the written English is one of the most used forms that we have. Okay, Patricia, I was asking you if you use English for business or work purposes. Okay, so let's continue. Uh, the written communication is the most used because when we know someone for the first time, the most common way of communicating is by mail or texting or posting something. And then we continue to talk by the phone or have a video conference or anything else. But the written communication is the first way to communicate with other people. So today, so this is the learning objectives for today. After completing our session, we will be able to, and we have two uh, specific objectives. We are going to understand what's an effective written communication, and we are going to have some guidelines to autocorrect our own written mails. Okay? So let's start. I have a few questions for you people. What do you think it's an effective communication? Would you say that these three examples are kind of a effective communication, or maybe there is something wrong with them? So what's wrong with these examples? We have three sentences. There are many issues that the students face at the university. A lot of time is wasted, and the accountant did an audit. So, any idea of what's wrong with these examples? Okay, Patricia. So you say that the first sentence is wrong. Why? Aldair, Carla, do you have any idea of why this is wrong? Or at least why it's not an effective communication? So we have here Carlos, Freddy, Jose. Do you have any idea why those examples may not be an effective communication? Marcia, Otto, Pedro, do you have any idea? The correct is there are many issues that students have at university. Uh, well, Patricia, actually, it's the same thing. Face at university of or have at university, uh, it's the same. So it's the same sense. Okay. Um, okay. So let's have an comparison so we can understand better why this would not be an effective communication form. So we have these three sentences, and I am proposing these three ones, And now we are going to have a comparison. So the first column is what we saw as examples. There are many issues that students face at university, and I propose students face many issues at university. So, Patricia, what's the difference between the left and the right? Pedro, Rafael, can you tell me what's the difference between the left and the right? Okay, I see Freddy's response. Viviana, do you have any suggestions for this question? What's the difference between number one from the left and number one from the right? Otto, Marsha, do you have any opinion? Okay, Rafael says second has more precision. Carlos, do you have any opinion? Jose, what's your opinion? Okay, Rafael, I think you are closer. Yeah, the column from the right is more precise. Maybe Jose Dulantor or Judith can have some other point of view about what's the difference between the right and the left. Okay, never mind, Otto, don't worry. Uh, okay, so let's compare number one. So in the left, you see there are many issues that students face at the university. Okay, so you see there, uh, for example, the word students, is it at the beginning or at the end? Okay, Carlos, you're right. The sentence have different structure. And why is that? It's because students in the left, students is at the end, and at the right, students is at the beginning. Okay? So why would you think that this happened? For example, in the left, what's more important? There are many issues or students faced at the university. What part of the sentence is more important? Okay, so in this case, the difference is that we have a passive and active voice. Okay, so just for this time, I'm going to switch to Spanish so we can understand what passive and active voice. Okay, solo por un ratito vamos a cambiar a español para entender un poquito lo que es voz pasiva y voz activa. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, si yo dijera, los estudiantes están en clase, estaría diciendo que los estudiantes están realizando una acción que es estar en clase. Esa sería una oración normal como la conocemos. ¿Ok? Pero si yo dijera, la Miss está siendo escuchada por los estudiantes, entienden que habría una diferencia en cómo lo explicamos. ¿Por qué? Porque ahora estamos hablando de la Miss como alguien que está transmitiendo conocimientos, pero no es la figura principal de la oración. Al decir, la Miss está siendo escuchada por los estudiantes, podríamos haberlo dicho como los estudiantes están atendiendo a una clase con la Miss. Y ahí podemos ver que los estudiantes son el protagonista de la oración. A ver, los leo en el chat para ver si se entendió esto de passive and active. Recuerdan de que esta parte del inglés lo deben de haber visto en algún momento en sus clases de private teacher. Entonces quiero que entiendan de que cuando uno habla de manera pasiva, suena más complicado. Es como si dijera, por ejemplo, otra oración, el perro está persiguiendo al ladrón. Esta es una oración normal. Pero si dijera, el ladrón está siendo perseguido por el perro, estoy cambiando los lugares de donde menciono al perro y al ladrón para resaltar de que quien está siendo perseguido es el ladrón, pero quien hace la acción es el perro. ¿Ok? Passive and active. Ok, queda claro. Gracias, Carlos. So, in this case, you can see that, for example, in the right, the main character is students, because students face many issues at university. But in the left, you see that we put first the phrase, there are many issues that students face at university. Okay, so when you are direct, the the sentence is more strong and is more easy to understand. Okay, so when we are direct, we are more effective as communicators. Okay, cuando somos directos, somos más fuertes y más efectivos en nuestra comunicación. Eso es lo que estamos tratando de entender en este slide. ¿Queda claro? So, in the second example, you see that, for example, it says, a lot of time is wasted. And in the right, you see, much time is wasted. Okay, the right is better. Why? Because we are talking in less words. En el ejemplo 2, igualmente la derecha es mejor porque estamos diciendo lo mismo pero en menos palabras. En vez de a lot of time, estamos diciendo much time. Mucho más rápido, mucho más directo. Ese es el segundo ejemplo. Third example. The accountant did an audit. El contador hizo una auditoría. Y en el otro dice, the accountant audited the company. El contador auditó la empresa. Puede sonar muy parecido, pero una cosa es decir, el contador hizo una auditoría y otra cosa es decir, el contador auditó. Es mucho más directo. Entonces eso es parte de cómo se comunican los americanos y también, sobre todo los americanos, son bastante directos al escribir las cosas y al hablar. Entonces, a veces si somos de los que hablamos con muchas palabras y nos hacemos muchos rodeos, pues no nos ajustamos mucho al idioma americano. ¿Sí? Okay, so next slide. So, the first suggestion is that we have to prefer strong verbs and avoid weak verbs. Do you understand the title of the slide? Do you understand the title of the slide? Okay, so we have to avoid weak verbs. And what's a weak verb? It's a verb that doesn't communicate too much meaning. Okay? So, for example, you have, he gave assistance to my friend. But it's better to say, he assisted my friend. So instead of two words, you have only one word. And in the second row, in the second column, sorry, you see, she made an objection. But it's better to say, she objected. And that's it. Is it clear? Yeah, but the weak verb is gave. Why? Because in this case, give assistance is two words for one action. So it's better to say he assisted. ¿Ok? Es como si en español dijéramos dar apoyo en vez de apoyar. Entonces, si tú dices, yo voy a apoyar a tal persona, es mucho mejor que decir, yo voy a dar mi apoyo a tal persona. Entonces, no suena tan directo y tan fuerte como quisiéramos hacerlo. Ya. Ok, ajá. Exactamente. Ok. Hay veces donde hay que usar verbo compuesto porque no hay de otra, pero hay muchos verbos que se pueden abreviar a una sola palabra. Ujú, ujú, ujú. Yeah, it's a strong verb because it's just one word. Okay, great. Okay, so now we're going to have 4 tips to better, yeah, to better communicate our written communication. Yeah. So let's continue. The intention for this part is that you can understand these tips, okay? So you can autocorrect your written communication in case you start redacting something, okay? So do you know the meaning for this word? Cheat sheet? What does cheat sheet means? What is cheat sheet? Not exactly. No, actually, cheat sheet, it's like a cheating sheet, okay? Is that little sheet that we prepare when we try to copy in exam? Okay, so I don't know if you understand the word now. Cheat sheet. Cheat sheet, ok, cheat sheet es como una hoja para nuestro plagio, como para plagiar, es algo así, tiene ese sentido el cheat sheet, ok. Entonces, si ustedes escriben mucho en inglés o en algún momento van a escribir algo amplio, largo en inglés, les recomiendo que tengan a la mano estas 4 reglas que les van a permitir hacer un barrido y una corrección de su redacción cuando vuelvan a revisarlo por segunda, tercera, cuarta vez si quieren que quede perfecto. ¿Okay? Muy bien. So let's start. First tip, it's to use action verbs. Okay, action verbs. It's what we saw in the previous slide. Okay, so I'm going to give you examples so you can understand better. And the wrong form, the wrong way, it's going to be in cursiva. Okay, so it's better to say I mailed the letter. Okay, but saying the letter was mailed by me, it's not so correct because it's more long, it's longer, and it's more difficult to understand. Okay. In Spanish, si yo les dijera, yo envié la carta, es mucho más rápido de procesar que decir, la carta fue enviada por mí. ¿Sí? Es como que un sentido más académico, más literario. Entonces, hablar como que un sentido literario, como un libro, una novela, no es el sentido que quisieran los americanos cuando estamos hablando de negocios o cuando estamos hablando con ellos. Ellos son bastante prácticos, ¿sí? Entonces, tenemos que evitar eso. ¿Okay? Okay, so second, okay, so did you understand the first tip? That is to use action verbs and prefer the active voice than the passive voice? Hello, Oliver. No, we are kind of advanced in this class. Okay, great. So the second tip is to obey the 8-word test. Okay, 8-word test. Keep your noun and your verb within 8 words of each other. The closer, the better. So you understand tip number 2? It says that your noun, which is the main character of the sentence, has to be close to the verb. Okay? For example, the first sentence, it's not so good. Why? Because manager and is are very far from each other. Okay? So I'm going to read it and it's not going to be clear. The manager responsible for the daily update of our new ERP is out of office. So to understand the verb, first you have to hear 9 words and you don't know what's happening with the manager. Okay? So it's better to say, the manager called in sick today, so we are missing the daily update of our new ERP. It's more clear and it's more easy to understand, okay? Because you know now in this second sentence, you know that the manager called. So now you have the character and the action, and then you have the rest of the information, and you're going to understand better. Okay? So, tip 2. Is it clear? Okay, great. So let's continue to tip number 3. And we have tip number 3. Explicit connectors. Do you know what it's a connector? For example, in these two sentences that I present, which is the connector? Which is the connector? Which is the connector? Not quite right, Freddy. So, anyone else? Marsha, Patricia, Carlos, Rafael, Hector, Jose, Judith, Oliver, Viviana. Yes, that's it, Patricia. Because of that, it's our connector. Because of that, it's our connector. Okay? And what it means because of that. What does it mean? Yeah, Yeah, you are right, Carlos. Yeah. For example, this first example is wrong. Now we are going to understand why it's wrong. Okay, it says, the manager didn't treat the workers well. They were poorly motivated and often quit. Now let's read the better way to say this. The manager mistreated the workers. Because of that, workers suffered from poor motivation and often quit. Okay? Why is the second sentence better than the first one? Why is the second sentence better than the first one? Why is the second sentence better than the first one? Do you have any idea? Can you help me? Okay. So, the second example is better because connects the first sentence with the second one. Okay. So let's translate uh, this paragraph. The second one. It says, el manager, el gerente, trataba mal a los trabajadores. Es por eso, because of that, es por eso, que los trabajadores sufrieron de poca o de pobre motivación y usualmente renunciaban. ¿Ok? En cambio, en el primer párrafo dice, el gerente no trataba bien a sus trabajadores. Punto. Ellos estaban bajamente motivados y usualmente renunciaban. ¿Ok? En el primero son dos oraciones independientes. Uno por su lado, el otro por el otro y no hay ninguna relación. Pero en la segunda se entiende mucho mejor porque te dice que la primera oración, que es el gerente no trata bien a su gente, es la causa de que luego los trabajadores tuvieran poca motivación y renunciaran. ¿Se entiende ahora mejor? Okay, great. So now you understand that the second sentence, that the second paragraph, sorry, the second paragraph, it's better because it connects the first sentence with the second one, okay? But the first paragraph, it's just two sentences and they don't have any connections. That's why it says that it's better to use connectors. And because of that, it's the phrase that connects the first sentence with the second one. Okay, so let's go to the fourth and final tip. In this tip, we have to understand that we have to, it's better when we tell a story, when we offer the facts, the middle, and the end, okay? So the first part has to be the problem. The first part has to be the problem. The problem is first, the solution is second, and the call to action is the third. Okay? So let's read this example that I'm sharing with you. First, you have to frame the problem. You have to demonstrate that there is a problem. Okay, so in this case, it says, we are losing clients because of the competition. It's the same as estamos perdiendo clientes por la competencia. Second, you pose a solution. Vas a formular una solución. And it says, let's create a retention program. Creemos un programa de retención. And third, you have a call to action. Let's bring an expert who has done this before. La llamada a la acción es traigamos a un experto que haya hecho esto antes. Okay? So when you communicate, you have to follow these 3 parts. So the people who is reading your email or your post or your story, they understand what's the complication of the problem, and they understand that you are going to solution that problem, and then you are going to propose an action to tackle that problem. So I would like to understand if that's clear. Entonces, en resumen, este tip significa que este tip nos dice de que primero tenemos que comunicar que hay una complicación o un problema para que la persona que nos está leyendo entienda que hay una complicación. Luego de que comuniquemos la solución para que ellos entiendan de que eso viene de un problema, ¿no? Toda solución es para un problema. Y lo tercero es que expliques cómo vas a solucionar eso. O sea, ya dijiste, la solución es esta, pero ahora el primer paso para comenzar a solucionarlo sería el call to action. ¿Ok? ¿Está claro? Okay, great. That's awesome. So that's our 4 tips. So let's have some exercises. Freddy, can you tell me if we can improve these sentences? The first one, policeman conducted an investigation. How we can improve this sentence? Freddy? First sentence. Patricia, second sentence. And you did third sentence. Okay. My mom made the cake. Okay, Patricia. That's perfect. Okay. Freddy, not so much. Freddy, the answer would be policeman investigated. Okay. Investigated is also a verb. So it's not necessary to say conducted an investigation. It's just investigated. Policeman investigated, and then the rest of the sentence. Okay? And let's say, Judith, how we can improve the third sentence. Maybe we can help Judith. Okay, so Judith, this was the most difficult. Okay, the what we have to complete there is that we are only talking about the problem. Okay, and as I said in the previous tips, we have to talk about the three parts. Okay, three parts: problem plus solution plus call to action. Okay, so not just about the problem. So in that case, it would be better to talk about the problem. What's the problem? Not just say it's a problem, and then formulate the solution and propose a call to action. Okay, is it clear? No, problem, the solution for that sentence is to amplify the sentence, because we are only talking about a problem and we don't know what's the problem, what the problem is. So if you say, let's focus on the problem, but what's the problem? What's the problem? And where is it? The solution and the call to action. So what's wrong in it is that we don't have the solution and that we don't have the call to action. Solution and call to action are missing. Not because problem, not because problem doesn't explain what the problem is. When you say problem, it's not specified. Yeah, yes. Okay, people, so let's close this class. So that's the end of our class. Thank you for being here and live. I don't know if you have any more questions. Okay, so thank you very much for being on time in this class. And I believe the people, the support team from Camex are going to give you the links. Camex people will share the links for the material and the test. Okay, so thank you very much and have a great week. Night, Patricia. Good evening, actually. Okay, bye.